What we doing, people? What we doing? What we doing? Just like that, live in the building, man. Little Sunday edition. You dig what I'm saying? There's a couple things to talk about, man. Let me get my situation right out. What y'all got going on for y'all Sunday out there, man? I hope everybody doing swell. Uh, Make sure that's turned up because I had messed that up last time. Let me check that out. Let me check into that. Uh, was this supposed to turn? All right. Am I right? All right. We're gonna go with it. I'm gonna make sure I'm on, man. But in my background, we got that old game on, man. What kind of fans are y'all out there in the world? We got the Knicks Pacers game on right now. I can't even hold you, man. Who was I looking forward to? I really had picked Minnesota early on, but then I started to feel like it's gonna be OKC. Um, I'm eyeing OKC Indiana finals, and I don't think that I would watch that. I really barely watch the games now, and I'm gonna tell you the reason, man. I love sports, but sports betting is killing sports, man. You know what I'm saying? Because as soon as you watching the game and somebody, uh, go over their little spread, you did what I'm saying. As soon as they fucking be parlay, you like, man, if everybody on this team, like I hate every team and every player now, bro. The only reason I like you or watch you is because you cover your point spread. You make me some money. It's so crazy. So sports is taking a hit because of that, man. Then with the NBA, I know I'm supposed to be talking about some other shit, but I'm just kind of spitballing right now. Then another thing, the NBA is kind of boring, bro. Like it's nothing for a team to shoot. 43 pointers a game, long rebounds, fast breaks. Not a lot of defense being played these days. So, the product is looking crazy. That's why they're bringing Mike in. They're bringing Mike back in next year to try to get some eyes back on the NBA. And I like the move. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna hold you. I like the move because it's kind of bring back a certain crowd when basketball was viewed as a more serious sport. You know what I'm saying? I like the move. We're gonna see what Mike got to say about. I'm interested to see what LeBron gonna do. Now, I saw uh, I saw a tweet from Skip Bayless earlier today, and I don't know. It's like he was indicating that LeBron had announced something or something. But I'm sure you hadn't seen it all over the place, so that can't be the case. I'm anxious to see if he's gonna stay around. Um, I don't know that his son Bryce is a one and done college player, so the possibilities of him staying around until Bryce comes to the league, I don't think those are really high odds. Um, he accomplished this mission of getting Bronny to the league. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I think it's a good chance that LeBron announces his retirement because, like I say, bro, even though it'll be like his 100th year in the league, like I wonder if he's interested in opening himself up to Michael Jeffrey Jordan critiquing this game. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if he's up for that challenge, man. And like I say, how much could JO really be on him when dude done played 100 years? But I mean, if you out there and you starting and you claim to be making noise out there, want some attention for when you win and all that, then you have to also face your detractors when you lose. So it'll be interesting to see him and MJ, man. Because I don't know that they interact a lot. Well, for that fact, I don't know that they interact with any prior NBA stars a lot. You know what I'm saying? Mike seemed to be in his own bubble, man, just all the time, always. So I ain't really sure if he gets out amongst the people. Anyways, you did what I'm saying. But it's gonna be interesting to see what LeBron and them Lakers do because unless they get, I don't know. These days, you get all kind of stars on the same team. It don't seem to pan out to be anything. I'm not a fan of Luka Doncic. I've always said you scoring 35 points is nothing if you give up 50 collectively. And pretty much in today's NBA, you got two guys that can give you 25. You did if Luka Doncic is their defensive matchup or vice versa, what have you. They liable to give him 25 apiece, so that negates them 35 that he got. You dig what I'm saying? So I've never been a fan of him. I don't think he's gonna help LA out. I guess they're trying to prepare for LeBron leaving, but to build around the Luka Doncic, you know what I'm saying? I think you will willfully have to look past the reason that Nico Harrison out there in Dallas let him go. And it's pretty glaring. You know, Luka's the type of player, you know, we look at that players that move slow and deliberate back in the days. You got Paul Pierce comes to mind first and foremost. But there's a definite difference between Paul Pierce and Luka Doncic. But in Luka Doncic's category, in his situation, he is losing one step away from being trash. He can't afford to move any slower. You dig what I'm saying? He doesn't get off the ground with his layups, his jump barely. You know what I'm saying? So the minute that he loses just that little bit of a twitch and that little step back thing he does, it's over with for him. So I don't know if this is gonna be a bright future out there in LA. LA ain't won nothing in a while. I guess if you want to count the COVID championship, you did what I'm saying. Uh, I just went into that spiel because the game is on. OKC, I don't really know what. I mean, I guess they got a good team. Them boys just don't slow down, man. You know what I'm saying? I think they like pesterers. If you play sports, you know what it is to play against that squad of hustlers. They're not skilled at all, but they do not slow down, bro. You cannot turn your back on it. You get a rebound, you have got to have it in the air, looking around. Anytime you're dribbling on the backside, every time you go up for a layup, I mean, literally everything you do, just somebody in the face, always swiping at the ball when you dribbling, and they get the rebound, they going. It's a team full of young niggas, and them boys is running. You dig what I'm saying? I think more than anything, uh, they just got the energy, man, to just stay in the ball game. Now, when you got a Shy Gilgis Alexander on your team, that all you have to do is look at him sideways, and he falls, and then subsequently get the foul call. Now that's a whole nother beast. You're dealing with a whole nother beast right there. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a fan of his game. It's a little floppish for me. He takes 25 shots at least a game, and I rarely see him shoot 50%. You know what I'm saying? So those 30 points, it takes a lot, man. There's a lot of players during today's NBA that I think like that. They high level of points just it takes up too much space on the court. You dig what I'm saying? Too much time off the clock, long rebounds from stupid dribbling. You know, Jalen Bronson has been guilty of that the last couple of games, man, playing this hero ball and stupid 3 pointers. But you know, Minnesota's bad about that. They take some of the worst shots I've ever seen in basketball history. So yeah, basketball has got a lot of problems these days, man. Speaking of other problems in basketball, which got something to do with what the title was, Anthony Edwards, a young basketballer, has got some apparently off the court problems. I see they say Cuz pressed charges on Aisha Howard. Now it's crazy. Say Charlotte harassing his teammate. Was she trying to give one of them some ass, or trying to call him to get one of them to send him a message or something? I ain't even understanding. What is she doing to harass that man? But bro, hate Charlotte. He hate that motherfucker 304 with a passion, bro. And what I look at about it and she fine, but so what? A lot of chicks fine out here, bro. But to be able to find a brain in a man these days it's a tough task. You dig what I'm saying? But yeah, I ain't read into it to see exactly what cuz is saying she on, but yeah, cuz done filed charges against her, man. He already, if you remember previously, he just paid her off in one fell swoop. You did. Bro was like, here you go. I'm gonna give you a meal ticket or so, what have you. and I don't have to see you again. I don't know if he tried to extend that non-invitation to the child as well, but as far as oh girl, you should have. He ain't trying to see no damn. I don't know the inner workings of the relationship, but I can tell you, it's someone that guess I can say prides himself on dealing with, echelon type females. Like, bro, they are the worst. You dig what I'm saying? Like, they are the absolute worst. In terms of being able to, be couth and be upright with, man. They get sideways real quick. So I feel as though I can imagine what he got against him, man. Now he the one that had relations with the lady with no condom, no protection, and pull out. You know what I'm saying? So he got himself in that situation, but maybe he's feeling like, well, we weren't married. She's not entitled to have my estate. I just signed a triple digit $1 million contract. I got a little meal ticket to give it. You know what I'm saying? Maybe thinking like that. And as long as he ain't just like a deadbeat dad and don't. I don't know though, bro. I gotta look into that part of it because that'll change the game for me now. If bro took that stance for the purposes of not having to deal with the child and all of that, that'll be bad business. I ain't gonna say kind of, that'll be bad business. That child didn't pick your name out of a hat. The stork did not run into turbulence issues over your house, and a child crashed through your roof. You didn't walk outside one morning and there was a basket uh, sitting on your doorstep. In which case, I guess you wouldn't be responsible. You could have turned the child back in, or what have you. But again, and I've taken this stance with parents more close to my situation, and I hate any parent that lives for what their child may be and give them in return. For anybody that's listening to this, if you're going through that with your parents, if they ever voice, you don't owe your parents a goddamn thing. Now, it's one thing if they raise a child that does well in life and then in turn turns around and bestows some of their goodwill upon their parent that did to raise them and rear them well in life. That's a different thing. That means you've raised a child with a good head on their shoulders. But if you're the type of parent that looks at it as if when you get somewhere, you better come back and, man, they don't owe you nothing, man. Because I look at it like, unless you're gonna say the child prevented you from living well, but like why couldn't you have yourself in a position to where when your child is, no matter how rich and wealthy or well off they get, you don't need their riches. You don't need their gifts. It's nice if they give it to them, give it to you, but you're not holding it against them. You don't have any expectations of it. So I hate the type of parent that lives like that, bro. So, but yeah, all in that to say, if he did that to just not have to deal with the child, now that's kind of bad business. You know what I'm saying? But I don't really know the inner workings of that. It was just in my list of stuff to talk about. Let's see if this man can win himself a championship, though. You dig what I'm saying? What else we got on? We'll get to Torey last. I got a gang of things in my little. Where's my Once again, man, it's just like that live, man. I think this is the first time I went live on this page. Actually, if you're on this page, you get to see this. I have a main page called Straight Like That. It was prior to this, it was called That Way. I had to remix and kind of start another channel. I ended up facing some trouble. You dig what I'm saying? With I think some people will report behind me or something like that. But go check out Straight Like That, STR8, the number 8. Uh LIKDAT. Or I think the handle is Straight Jack, which is STR, the number 8, HT Jack, JCK. You dig what I'm saying? Couple of things. Sports, stay on sports. Travis Hunter gives his wife Leanna 500,000 custom G wagon. Okay. Now, if y'all not familiar with, everybody know who Travis Hunter is. You got to know who his girl is. They've been laying low here lately because folks was on their head for a minute because Lil Shawty was out here doing a lot, man. You know what I'm saying? Displaying some bad optics, showing some necessity for attitude adjustments. Well, we saw out here in the limelight with little bro at his at his Heisman little situation, little deal, and I think it was senior day at one of the football games, the optics to how she was looking and how she was acting and interacting as she came out in the field, as bro came up to her, just brought some concern. Everybody like, oh, bro, like, you know, Shawty seemed to be doing a bit much. You dig what I'm saying? Then a couple of videos came out. You know, everybody been to college. You go to parties. Now it's unclear whether she was with bro when these videos came out, but people was on their head. You dig what I'm saying? Telling bro, it's obvious that you just, this is your okay. It's one school of thought that was saying this is obviously like your first girlfriend, as if they just met. But if you look in the read ups, apparently they were high school sweethearts. So, he brought her along on a ride. But it was still classified and categorized as his first love. So it would stand to reason why he seemingly puts up, it was cringe shit though. It's one thing to, give your girl the benefit of the doubt, but nigga, when you going and taking your girl to the club and sit in the parking lot for 4-5 hours, like, nah, son. Let's get to that. We can't do that, man. We can't do that, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on, bro. Let's get to that. We can't do that. Shout out to Zip with the drip, man. I gotta check my boy Zip with the drip out today, man. See what's going on. That nigga Zip be having me roll. He been going in on Fat Joe and them niggas. The last couple of days, you heard? My boy Zip with the drip, we talking. Let's get to that. But yeah, bro. Pretty nasty work, bro. Now, since I went to talking about Zip with the drip and Fat Joe, now that'll help me pivot into my next topic. You heard? So that is Papoose and Remy Ma. I ain't gonna hold you, my nigga. Like Remy Ma is in my estimation. You dig what I'm saying? Now you hold the view that you will. You understand what I'm saying? But I feel like Remy looked crazy in this situation, bro, because the little allegations of her cheating, let me not say little, because those are big in the married world. The cheating accusations on her came out super early, you know what I'm saying? This was months ago or what have you, maybe even a year ago. And it's not like, I don't know, maybe she denied it to Pap. But in the eyes of us that could see it, you know what I'm saying? By the time it hit, it hit. It was there. It hit different. Here we go. 4K. Wasn't no escaping that shit. Everybody was like, damn, real? Like, how you going out like that, man? Nigga held you down. You was in jail like 8 years for stabbing that woman. You understand what I'm saying? Pap out here holding it down on the streets. Pap might have did, you know what I'm saying, run up in him a couple chicks while that was going on. I don't know if I would, you know, think that was something just so outside of the realm of imagination. But we never heard anything about that from Rim about that. It ain't like she was tripping on cuz because of that. She just seemed to start tripping on bro once he exposed what she had going on. You know what I'm saying? And which I guess just like a chick, they'll do something like that. No accountability. You the bad guy if you ever notice if you got a girl out there, if you got a daughter, you ever notice that I make it your mom, anyone. You notice that when they do something untoward, or something outside the box and you speak on it, you realize how now you're the bad guy. It goes from what they did to how you said it. It's crazy shit I ever seen. So that seemed to be the thing. Now Remy is in her bag because she got exposed, and then I guess primarily, mostly because here lately, the woman that Pap got with, Clarissa Goat Shields. You know what I mean? Clarissa Goat Shields. She don't say her name without saying it all. It's kind of cringe. Uh, but yeah, shout stop. Her and Pap got together. You didn't really hear Remy say, "Now Remy will stab you now." You feel me? Remy will do some stabbing. We know this. But then we also know that Clarissa Goat Shields' hands are legally registered as lethal weapons. I don't think Remy want no smoke. You dig what I'm saying? To be honest. But Clarissa went on to the Breakfast Club here lately, man. And when asked about it, she didn't really say, you feel me? She didn't really say a whole bunch, bro. She was just basically was like, I don't have a problem with her. And I think he pretty much skipped over it for the most part. But shit, that's all Remy needed. Remy just got, talking crazy. He said something about me. Now I'm talking like you got my attention. Now she exposing all kind of old text messages, her and Pap going back and forth. Pap says she been broke, and begging, and been with the lame. He refers to brother the lame. You know what I'm saying? Uh, Remy commences to show pictures of his bags of clothes, and so that means that he's really trying to come back home, and it's just a messy deal. But that was the face of black love. Let y'all black chicks tell you. You remember that, right? Oh, black love. I love this for them. God, I see what you've done for others. Some of the most pathetic shit, bro. It is, man. The glazing these days be at an all-time high, bro. But then you know what you gotta understand, man. You look at the comments on Instagram. A lot of times, the people that make these cliche cringe comments, these are for large and part just loser people, bro. They live probably most of life of scrolling social media. You dig what I'm saying? So you really can't just take that as representative of the culture. But I will say, uh, in dealing with them out here, that shit is largely prevalent. The way of thinking. You dig what I'm saying? The same way of thinking. They got people. I don't know what y'all think about this, bro, but I'm gonna get to my little conspiracy theory about this Tory Lanez thing. You got to continue the people that swear by Meg the Stallion. Although I think her numbers are dropping significantly. She ain't been hot since this little trial went out. You know what I'm saying? She ought to been out of here. You might catch her twerking somewhere. She ain't got an OnlyFans or nothing. I don't know. I don't be OnlyFans. She was at the Kamala Harris deal, but yeah, Meg seems to largely have met the dulled side of fame. You know what I'm saying? Because from what I can understand, it's a general consensus. It's a pretty much known fact that Torey ain't shoot that girl. You know what I'm saying? From my understanding, Torey was hitting Meg. No, Torey was hitting Kelsey. Meg busted open for a real nigga one time or two. While they're all at the party at Kylie Jenner house, and Torey trying to hit Kylie. Emotions reach a fever pitch. Kelsey, Megan get into it once they get back in the car, and I don't know how it's revealed that she uh busted open real one a time or two. Kelsey feels hurt, destroyed inside. But her friend that twerks at the drop of a dime twerked naked for this guy. It doesn't seem like a stretch of imagination. But she mad. They get into the feelings. Kelsey out for blood. Apparently, Kelsey grabs the weapon, commenced to discharging it. Torey thwarts that attempt. And I've seen the video. Maybe it was altered. Who knows? It's blurry a little bit. But there's a video that shows Megan or someone that looks like Megan Getting out the passenger side of the car. When she opens the door, a bottle falls on the ground, bust. She steps out, steps onto the glass, cuts her feet. Police come due to the gunshots being heard. Story turns to Torey Lanez have been the one that shot her, but apparently there was no gunshot residue on his hands. Apparently Kelsey has confessed to it, but Kelsey also got an immunity deal, which it begs the question: if Torey shot her, why would Kelsey need immunity? She doesn't have to be afraid of testifying against anybody because apparently Torey is the one in the wrong, but she got immunity. Torey was subsequently arrested. Charged with like stuff with the shooting when you read the papers. But from what I understand, I think the back play on top of Torey being the big fish. Chelsea, no one cares, no promotions. A Tory Lanez goes to prison. All detectives, everyone works on that case, gets a mop up. But most certainly the arresting detectives, the investigating officers or what have you. You dig what I'm saying? Oh, I like to keep some more. I just heard a beat. Hold on. All right. Hold on, folks. Right back. Give me 1 second, man. My dad just popped up outside. Y'all hold on. We talking about Tory Lanez and all that. Hold on. Hey, don't you go out there, though. Mo, Mo. You probably don't really like people. I know you like me. Yeah. All right. God damn it. Never fails, man. Never fucking fails. Never fucking fails. When you're doing something. All right. We back. What was that? How long I been going? 30 minutes. All right. So, what was I talking about? Tory Lanez, man. Tory Lanez, Tory Lanez, Tory Lanez, Tory Lanez. So, I guess I was at the part where I think Kelsey got immunity. So I'm like, why wouldn't she get immunity if she ain't do nothing? And like I said, okay, boom. Apparently, the reason that Torey is banged up is for his prior record. I don't know if I could find anywhere definitively that he had a felony, but the word on the street is that that's what they were able to stick him on. Because, like I say, if Kelsey goes to prison, no one getting a promotion off of that. But the people that investigated that Torey crime and were on top of it and all of that, that's promotion worthy. You dig what I'm saying? You get a big fish, you can run for office and town sheriff and all this, that, and the third off a big like that in the world. Get you a TV show, reality TV. You see all the little cop dramas and first 48s and deals like that. That come from the people that saw big cases in the town, in the city, what have you. So you can kind of see, well, I ain't no kind of. You can see exactly where that was coming from. So for my money, Tory Lanez is already wrongfully convicted. We were not going to let him sit there and do 10 years. We give it time to let it bubble up, let it give a natural sort of time frame for other information to come out. People actually wanting to be able to, wanting to testify, or being willing to testify, or their conscience getting to them, getting in touch with law enforcement, putting together this, going to talk to that. Because I don't find it to be a coincidence. You know what I'm saying? I ain't big on coincidences, man. But the day before he got stabbed, that picture came out. It's like the picture that's on the front of this for this thumbnail. It was like new. No, actually, I don't know if that's the picture. I'm lying. But there was a picture of Torey standing there with a couple other inmates. And they was like, new picture, Torey done released. Blah, blah, boom. Then the next day, he gets stabbed. Third day, you have a news conference. Not about him being stabbed. Actually, no. Do I have this wrong? I know it was 3 days. Maybe it was the picture. Then the information about all this new information pertaining to the trial has come out, and Kelsey is actually da. Then the third day he gets stabbed, and I'm like, hold on, what's the chances? And then, and I'm gonna backtrack through it. I think it was yesterday I clicked on a story on Twitter. And apparently TMZ has an audio interview of the Casio, Ortiz, whatever, the guy that supposedly stabbed Tory Lanez. Now, in what world, bro? In what world is a guy that is supposedly charged with, this is the story behind this guy. He was dating an underage female. The female's parents found out about the relationship. Parents go over to a house where they were, the guy and the girl, and attempts to check him about the relationship. The story goes, He murders all three of them. Goes to prison. Apparently, he's already committed a murder while he was in prison. And so Tory Lanez would have been his fifth body. It's so many things wrong with this story, cuz I don't see, if we just start okay at the interview and then we backtrack, I don't see how TMZ, no matter how powerful they may be or what have, I don't see them being able to get an interview with this particular inmate so close after the crime. You dig what I'm saying? That seemed Hollywood to me. The fact that, of course, it's a lifer with nothing to lose, of course, he's the one that did it. Seemed a little fishy to me. The fact that you had just shown us a picture of Tory Lanez looking like he's in good health, lifting weights, got a squad of people around. Now, from what I understand, if you tune in to DJ Academics, he's always, or frequently, or multiple times, he's had live stream broadcasts with academics from inside the pen. Tory Lanez, I'm saying, where he rapping and apparently making mixtapes and all that, feeding everybody commissaries are abounded around them. You did what I'm saying now. So the same Tory Lanez that's already been locked up for years that you've been around, that you could have gotten at any time. The same one that we just saw take pictures with these fellas that look like they're his cohorts. This is the same Tory Lanez that you say you could approach with some smoke, like you said you ran up on him and told him to be quiet or shush up or something like that. He was always belligerent or just too loud, doing too much around there. So you was just able to run up on him with some smoke, and then when you turned to go back in your cell, you look up and Tory Lanez had followed you into your cell. You thought your life was in danger, and so you turned around and you kept. The only reason you kept stabbing him was because you kept stabbing him until he dropped whatever you thought to be in his hand. Nah, none of that makes sense, bro. You wouldn't have been able to get up close on that man if you got some smoke like that. He wouldn't have been the one to follow you to your cell. You dig what I'm saying? I'm sure. I'm sure Tory Lane got enough money to pay to throw some weight around. You dig what I'm saying? He'll have some cats that's in there that's life is just like you, ready to get with any kind of motion you got. So that didn't sound right to me. The part about being stabbed 14 times, and more importantly, coming from someone in the medical field, uh, two collapsed lungs. I tell you what, where's my phone? Let's ask Grok. I may be quoting bad information, but from thinking that I know what I talk what I look me from me thinking I know what I'm talking about. Let's just see what does Grok say. How long can you live with two collapsed lungs? See what Grok got to say. I know what a collapsed lung is. Pneumothorax. I understand. Okay, let's read it. A collapsed lung or pneumothorax occurs when air enters the pleural space, causing the lung to collapse. Having two collapsed lungs, bilateral pneumothorax, is a life-threatening medical emergency. Survival time without treatment depends on the severity, cause, and underlying health conditions, but is typically very limited, ranging from minutes to hours in severe cases. So now, we talking about a prison fight, bro. We're talking about a prison, first of all. Prisons, unless you don't know, prisons don't have like, you know, first responder type of energy to an accident, to some cataclysm. You dig what I'm saying? They let niggas fight. You be bleeding out. A lot of times you get stabbed up. It's hours before they find them. They ain't doing no regular checks running in there. They got to be stocked up, locked and loaded. You ain't got too many CEOs that's willing to just brave through that jungle like that. You dig what I'm saying? So if the eyes were on Tory Lanez so that people could rush over to him and get him uh, into a situation where he can be cared for after having two collapsed lungs, we're talking about immediate action. You dig what I'm saying? So if eyes were on him to get to him that fast in that situation, how are these same eyes on him to allow him to get in the situation? You dig what I'm saying? And so when you say, okay, stabbed up in a prison environment, inside a cell, mind you. This isn't out on the yard where everybody can see. This is apparently in the stabbers in his cell. To think that treatment got to him fast enough to allow him to survive with two collapsed lungs. Yeah, it's a stretch for me. You dig what I'm saying? Now, do I believe he got stabbed at all? I would imagine, in the interest of my theory, he had to have been stabbed. And they just put extra sauce on it to garner more public sympathy. Because my theory is, again, not only is he in jail wrongfully convicted, now he's in there fighting for his life. He stabbed 14 times, almost died. So a guy, a beloved artist out here, has got millions of fans. All this evidence to the contrary about what he's convicted for is stabbed 14 almost dead. Like, come on, man. You gotta get him out of there, bro. He don't deserve to die in prison. He shouldn't even be in prison. You dig what I'm saying? Another spin on it, man, I might be going deep in the hole. The music game is a very lucrative business, especially for those at the top, the label owners, what have you. If an artist out here makes 100 million, uh, it's safe to say that the record label made 1 billion. You dig what I'm saying? So you look at Tory Lanez, and if you've been a follower of Tory Lanez for a while, one of his early projects, what's the name of the mixtape? I forget, but he's got a song on it, Machiavelli. You know what I mean? Like Machiavelli. Oh. Something like that. Hard song. You dig what I'm saying? Bro got some good music. But I look at it, I say, damn, all right. Him and one Aubrey Graham, formerly known as Drake, they've been like forever rivals trying to attain this King of Canada crown, right? And for all intents and purposes, I think Drake is still making good music. I hadn't heard of any of it lately. I'm sure he's got core fans that he can continue to tour and make money, make streaming and shit like that. But as far as the Drake that we all once knew, you know, the Drake that could cosplay or infiltrate certain sections of an entertainment business, I think that Drake is gone. You know, his little battle and Kendrick pretty much said as much. Like, bro, we know the song. So, and it seems to have had this effect. He turned around and wanted to sue UMG for saying they were boosting the song. Just a couple of bad looks off the back of him losing that rap battle. And so I think that Drake is gone. So now if I'm a record label, I say perfect time for one Tory Lanez to get out of prison. But he had to have been stabbed because the first question. See, we didn't see pictures. And in the day and age of pictures and video of everything and going live from the hospital bed, getting your G points up, we didn't see any of that. That's a suspicious move. For as boastful as Tory Lanez is, you dig what I'm saying? Now you saying he's a prisoner. He don't just have a cell phone and okay, you could take that angle. But for me, it would be more of the convenient cover up. But um I'm looking at the situation. I'm like, it's a perfect time to get Tory Lanez out of jail. You dig what I'm saying? Again, he's in there wrongfully. Whatever they've done to boost or whatever move they've made in a couple of years while he's been locked up, maybe give it time for Megan to die down and kind of against her. Um, but perfect time for this man to come out, show a couple of these knife wounds, because that's going to be the first question people ask him once he does get out. I don't think it's coming in the next month or so, but I think by Christmas. I think by Christmas this year, I think Tory Lanez will be out of jail. Maybe top of the year type action, 6 more months type of deal. But that's kind of my take on it, man. Get him out back on his Tupac shit, wrongfully convicted. The same thing happened to Pop, Mike Tyson, all that back in them days. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of my theory, man. I don't think that man took that opportunity to finally stab Tory Lanez. I don't think Tory Lanez pursued this man. You telling me You telling me a 5'8" or some shit? Tory Lanez pursued what we're to believe is a quadruple homicide guy. We're to believe that Tory Lanez pursued this guy into his cell to do him harm. I don't think he would even attempted to make it look like. Because what has he got to live for? This man will kill his own girlfriend. I don't think Tory Lanez put no pressure on him like that. So for me, it's kind of like a Hollywood story. It kind of had too many juicy tidbits. I don't believe it to be true. I think it's all a ploy to get him moved to a different facility. Start to again garner more public sympathy. Um, I don't know if they're planning on having another trial about this, do evidence or what have you, but that's my belief. I think Torey finna come home soon, and this was just all the setup, man. Because if you think about it, something like that would have been in the news for forever. Well, I'm not the end all be. I don't know it all, but I monitor situations out here, and it's damn near something new every day from all the different celebrities and stuff we got in the world. So, from how I normally see stuff go, a story like that would have been in the news for days to come. You dig what I'm saying? 14 times, two collapsed lungs, almost dead. Tory Lanez wrongfully convicted about the Megan. You dig what I'm saying? But it kind of died down and went out the news cycle too quickly. These days, the news cycle is constantly flowing. But for me, uh, it seems a little fishy, man. But we'll see. We'll see what happens with that situation. And you did. What else did I have on my agenda, man? Before I get out of here, Clarissa, I bet Remy ain't gonna mess with Clarissa. Clarissa gonna knock the girl out, bro. I'm telling you now. Don't go out there playing. That was probably about the last on my agenda. You dig? So that's pretty much all I got, man. I just want to kind of get it started, man. I plan on making this going live. I like to say a daily thing, but I sort of got myself in the predicament of having now I have two pages because I pivoted to another page because my main page was having trouble, and so now I've got to create for both pages. So I done kind of got myself in a bad position, man. I'll try to do this daily, man, at least weekly on Sundays, regular schedule. But again, as we go and as I start to see people tuning back in, we'll make adjustments accordingly, man. But until then, man, I'm about to get out of here. It's been just like that with Jack Travis, baby. Y'all be swell.